Hello students. In the previous video we discussed about liquid solutions in which we have discussed about Raoult's law. So in this video we are going to discuss about the two type of solution that is on the basis of Raoult's law. That is ideal solution and non-ideal solutions. First let us discuss about ideal solutions. Ideal solutions can be defined as the solutions which obey Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration are known as ideal solution. That is, the solution which is exactly obeying the Raoult's law. That is the entire range of concentration, means on the different concentration it exactly obey the Raoult's law. Such solutions are called as ideal solution. So if we consider a solution in which the solute is B and the solvent is A. Consider the solvent as A and the solute as B. So consider a solution a binary solution in which the two components are A and B. So according to the Raoult's law, which we have learnt in the previous video, PA, that is the partial pressure of A component, is equal to the vapor pressure of the pure component A into its mole fraction Xa. Similarly, Pb is equal to P naught B Xb. So this is according to the Raoult's law which we have learnt in the last video. So the solution which is exactly obeying this law, that means in which Pa is equal to P naught A Xa. That is the entire range of concentration. If it is the vapor pressure of the solution is equal to the product of these two, then the solution is called as Raoult's law. So let us discuss some of the important properties related to ideal solution. That is, the first we have to discuss about the enthalpy of mixing of pure components to form the solution is 0. That means the enthalpy of mixing for the two pure component A and B to form a solution, and that is actually enthalpy of mixing is equal to 0. That means enthalpy will be represented by H, and delta H is the enthalpy of mixing, that is equal to 0. It means that when the two component A and B, that is the solute and the solvent, when it is mixed, it will give rise to the solution AB. So here during the mixing of these components A and B is giving rise to the solution. So it means that during this mixing there is no heat is absorbed or evolved when the components are mixed. When the two components A and B are mixed, that is the pure component are mixed, so giving rise to a solution. So what is actually happening here? During this process of mixing, no heat is absorbed or even no heat is evolved. That means the change in the enthalpy is equal to 0. It is neither the heat is absorbed nor the heat is evolved. So this case we can say that in which case we can say that delta H mixing is equal to 0. So the ideal solution in which the enthalpy of mixing of the pure component to form the solution is 0. So in short, how we can learn this one? That is delta H mixing for the ideal solution is equal to 0. This is the important point. Now next property that we need to discuss is the volume of the mixing. That is, the volume of mixing is also 0 for the ideal solution. That means the volume of mixing that is represented as here delta V is equal to 0. So that means that delta is representing the change. That means when the solute and the solvent is added at the time, the change in the volume is actually is equal to 0. So how we can understand this concept? Let us take the component A and B, that is the solute and the solvent. So if we are taking this one as 100 ml and if this we are taking 100 ml, So when we mix this one, we expect that the solution will be 200 ml. So that means the solution in which after mixing, the volume is exactly equal to the sum of the volume of the solute and solvent. That means here the volume is not changed, because whatever the volume of the solution is the sum of the volume of the solute and the solvent. That means here there is no net change. That means volume is neither increased nor decreased. So in that case, what we can say that the delta V mixing is equal to 0. So it means that the volume of the solution would be equal to the sum of the volume of the two components. So whatever volume which I already taken here as 100 and 100. So 100 ml of A and 100 ml of B when it is mixed, and the solution of AB is of 200 ml. In that case, we can say that the volume of the solution is equal to the sum of the volume of the two component. That means here this volume is the sum of the volume of volume A and volume B. At the molecular level, the ideal behavior of the solution can be explained on considering the two components A and B. So, in the pure component, the intermolecular forces between the A and B, that is the pure component, the intermolecular forces between A and the forces between B and B, when it is nearly equal to the forces between A and B, at that case the solution is ideal. So that means at the molecular level we can say that the solution is ideal when whatever the interaction is between the pure component, that means between the AA and between the BB, whatever the interaction is there, the same interaction will be there between A and B, that is a solvent and the solute, when they are mixed. So then only we can say that the solution become ideal and shows the properties what we have learned here. So the solution A and B, in which we can say that the AB interaction, that means the force of interaction between the solute and the solvent, is equal to the interaction between the molecules of solvent and between the molecules of the solute. So here AA means what? AA means the solvent molecule, whatever the interaction is there, that is intermolecular attractive forces, whatever there, and whatever the intermolecular attractive forces between BB, that is the solute molecules are there, the same attractive forces will be there between the solvent molecule and the solute molecule. So that is why we can say that the solution will have the property of ideal solution. So it is actually behaving an ideal solution because of this interaction. So the ideal solution, we need to find out what are the examples of ideal solution. So let us see what are the examples. The examples like N-hexane and N-heptene. So these both are the hydrocarbons. So here if one is the solute and other one is the solvent, so the mixture of these two will behave like a ideal solution. Similarly, bromoethane and chloroethane, it mixture shows the properties of ideal solution. And the next one is benzene and toluene. These two will show the property of ideal solution. So it is important to note the properties of ideal solution. So just recall the points. What is ideal solution? Ideal solution, that is the solution in which it completely obeys the Raoult's law. That is the solution which obeys the Raoult's law completely over the entire range of concentration is known as ideal solution. And in the ideal solution, we can say that PA is equal to P0A XA and PB is equal to P0B XB. And the ideal solution in which delta H mixing is equal to 0 and the delta V mixing is equal to 0. And this is because the intermolecular attractive forces, that is AB interaction is equal to AA and BB interaction. So these are the examples of ideal solution we have seen here. Next is the non-ideal solutions. The solutions which does not obey Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration is called as non-ideal solution. So which is obeying, that is ideal, which is not obeying, that is the non-ideal. So which law? Raoult's law, that is over the entire range of concentration. Even at a particular concentration may it behave like a ideal, but not for the overall range of concentration. So such type of solutions are called as non-ideal solution. That means in this case PA is not equal to P naught A XA, PB is not equal to P naught B XV, because if it is equal, that means that it obeys the Raoult's law. So that is actually, we can say that the vapor pressure of such a solution is either higher or lower than the predicted by the Raoult's law. So what is actually we predict by Raoult's law? That vapor pressure may be higher or lower than the predicted value of Raoult's law. So that means it will not be exactly equal to this product. So here, if the value is higher, that means the solution exhibit a deviation. And which deviation? That is positive deviation, or if its value is lower, that means it exhibit a negative deviation from the Raoult's law. That means if it is not obeying the Raoult's law, so maybe the value will be higher, and if it is higher, we can say that the value is actually deviated, and that deviation is called as a positive deviation. And if it is, we are getting the lower value, then we can say that it exhibit a negative deviation from the Raoult's law. So let us discuss about the positive and negative deviation. The vapor pressure of the solution and the partial pressure of the components are more than that of expected by the Raoult's law. As I told you, for the ideal solution, it will be, the vapor pressure will be equal to the P naught A, that is partial pressure is equal to P naught A XA. But the vapor pressure and the partial pressure of the component is more than the expected by the Raoult's law, then it is a positive deviation, and if it is lesser, then that deviation is called as negative. So I told you, whether the solution, that is non-ideal solution, is showing either positive deviation or negative deviation, and when the value, the expected value is higher than the Raoult's law, expected Raoult's law, then we are getting positive deviation, and if it is lesser than those of expected by Raoult's law, that is called as a negative deviation. Here delta H mixing is not equal to 0, that means it is a positive value, and here it is a negative value. Delta V mixing is equal to positive here, and delta V mixing is equal to negative here. So it is very easy to learn that the delta H mixing is positive, delta V mixing is positive, that is for positive deviation, and here delta H mixing is negative, delta V mixing is negative, that is the deviation is called as negative deviation. So it is forms a minimum boiling azeotrope. We will be going to discuss about azeotrope in the next video. And in this case, as I told you, for the ideal case, the AB interaction is equal to AA and BB, but here AB interaction is lesser than the AA and BB. That means whatever the interaction is between the solute and the solvent is less than the interaction between the pure component, that is between the solvent molecules or between the solute molecule. But in the case of negative deviation, the AB interaction is greater, and here it is greater in compared to the AA and BB interaction. So here the volume is actually the positive here, and here it is negative. That is actually due to this reason only. So why the delta V mixing is equal to positive? So the question is asked, why delta V mixing is positive? Because here the AB interaction is lesser. So AB interaction is lesser means the molecules will be little bit far. That means the interaction between A and B is weaker means the molecules will be little bit far. So that means the volume will be increased. But in the case of negative deviation, AB interaction is greater. AB interaction is greater means the molecules of A and B will be little bit come closer because there is a greater interaction. That means the overall volume get reduced. So that is what we can explain the property of delta H mixing and delta V mixing on the basis of the interaction between the molecules. So these are the important pointer related to the positive and negative deviation. When we look at the examples, the mixture of ethanol and acetone shows a positive deviation, but the mixture of chloroform and acetone shows the negative deviation. It can be very well explained through a plot. So if we make a plot between the vapor pressure and mole fraction, if you remember this, we have already made this plot while discussing about the relation between vapor pressure and mole fraction according to the Raoult's law. So this dotted line is actually showing if it is exactly obeying the ideal, that is exactly obeying the Raoult's law, so it will be a straight line. That means in that case there will be a straight line. But here it is not obeying the Raoult's law, that's why it will not be a straight line. So in expected to the Raoult's law, the plot will be little bit a curve. That is it will be higher vapor pressure. Higher vapor pressure is there as we expected to the Raoult's law. So that's why the plot will be little bit, you can see it will be a little bit more in compared to the straight line. And but in the case of negative deviation, you can see that the plot is down to the straight line. That is a negative deviation because here the vapor pressure is lower. That is the plot is actually we are getting here the plot as down in compared to the straight line. Straight line here it is shown here, the straight line, this is the straight line, this one is a straight line, and this straight line is actually showing the if it is obeying the Raoult's law exactly, then we are getting a straight line. But it's not obeying the Raoult's law, so we are getting a curve, and that curve it is shown here down to that of straight line. So that is actually the negative deviation, and it is higher value, that's why it is positive deviation. So all of you learn these differences, that is difference between positive and negative deviation, and also the difference between ideal and non-ideal solution. Most probably the question will be expected from this area. So this is all about this video. Have a nice day.